There we go. Some duo content with Truth. Yeah, thank you for resub 11 months. 24 minutes ago. Yeah, should I talk about the new patch? Let's maybe talk about the new patch. Because I haven't talked about the new patch yet. This patch is live tomorrow. Okay? This patch is live tomorrow. Okay? And here's my thoughts on the patch. First we have Early Asol, which I will spam whole day tomorrow, because this is like the only big change for Midland. So yeah, we're gonna spam it whole day tomorrow, see how it goes. I got some like idea of how to play, what to build, since I played on PB a bit. Amumu doesn't really do much. The bigger, like the mana cost is useless. The E part is a bit problematic for jungle and support early game, because he lost 15 damage. I don't know if they max this ability first, because usually Amumu support max Q first. But then some people I know were saying that E first is the better max, so I don't know. But this is definitely like big. This type of damage nerfs on champions that rely on base damage, especially melee supports, are big. Then you have Annie, which is probably the second biggest change, or the maybe in the patch. Passive will always get a stack, so you won't have to do like a W start anymore since you don't have time anymore. This is like makes her stronger for invading especially. And then her E gets a massive rework in a way. I mean, the spell is pretty similar, but it just works a bit differently. So it's way more spammable. The shield part is going to be stronger since it has just a better AP skill. And this is pretty decent AP skill now. And then retaliation magic damage, don't know how to say that, is a bit bigger as well, with AP skill as well. But it will only proc once, and it's gonna proc on basic attacks and spells. So maybe we'll see like an Emax Annie on support, where she just eats the ADC. The ADC goes for a trait, and all of a sudden enemy loses like 150 HP from the trait. I mean, depends. It's shield plus damage, right? I don't know, maybe. This spell is just gonna be way stronger. And then the R goes pretty crazy, because now like R is gonna be way tankier from both MR and health, resist. And the MS is gonna also scale a bit with rank. Late game here R is still gonna die very fast, because late game champions just do too much damage. It's like Oracle champ just the thing just dies. But this is big for like level 11 R. It can definitely make a difference. But yeah, these two are bigger changes though. Do I expect Annie to be playing high elo? Probably not. Maybe if it's a one trick. Maybe on support, if there's like a secret Emax build or something. Jarvan. Huge buffs. Big buffs for jungle and soul lane. This also buffs like top and Jarvan. Potentially like even mid, because Jarvan is a very flexible champ. It's even a support Jarvan buff, but Jarvan support I don't think is a very good champ. His W is by far like his worst ability in the game, or on the champ, and even like in the game, it's just been a very bad ability. And Riot has buffed it a lot, and this is like a huge buff, like 80% bonus AD, obviously bigger in jungle and top than support. Cooldown less, shield duration being last doesn't matter, because you don't wait 5 seconds to use the whole shield. It's always gonna be, you know, the shield's gonna break before that, so it doesn't really matter. This is huge buff. His shield is just gonna be like, I think I saw the math, like 30 or 40% stronger, depending on like game time. This is crazy. Ksante, gonna get a bit of health growth. And then, but this doesn't really matter, because this champion is just getting crazy gutted here. You guys have no idea how much this will matter. This will matter so much. This champion losing CC is gonna matter so much, and then even in R, losing so much resists at this point. I think Ksante is already pretty bad in compared to. I hope no one picks him after this, because I think he's just that champ. In solo queue, I think this champ will also not be that good anymore. Kassadin. The latest nerf on Kassadin didn't do much, but this one will definitely do way more. Kassadin is losing a lot here. So his first max order will get nerfed in early game, which is gonna make like trading and last hitting worse in lane. He's still gonna have to max C though. And then the cooldown from nearby cast is gonna go also down when his CD already got up. So his E's in fights are gonna be so much slower now, which is a huge nerf to DPS of the champion. And then Riftmaker is also getting a huge nerf. Honestly, I mean, champs that in high elo. Kayle, little better MS on passive, and the E gets back the old AP ratio. When Kayle was released, she had 25% AP on the passive on hit damage. Sadly, these buffs aren't enough. Apparently, Riot said that they're gonna buff Kayle again in case these buffs aren't enough. I expect these buffs to not be enough, so I expect another Kayle buff coming in like a month from now on. So probably gonna wait for that buff. Kayn, better passive a bit on Shadow Flame, and Q better on Shadow Flame. Just Shadow Flame Kayn buffs. Personally, not a fan of Shadow Flame Kayn, but it is what it is. And then we have LeBlanc. Giving her these buffs are mainly towards low elo. Mana regen buffs are mainly towards low elo because players are worse at managing mana. The only good thing about this is that maybe Q-Max LeBlanc with Eric becomes a thing against like mini champs. So other than that, this will not change anything in high elo since LeBlanc never runs out of mana anyway. R Mimic, that's a pretty good buff because LeBlanc uses R to just chait and get a good chait. So now she's gonna be able to just R way more. This is pretty huge. Leesin, it's just a matter of time, I think, till Leesin will be back in pro meta in jungle, rotated very often. Yeah, just more damage here, and then more damage here. E is apparently worse early game, but better later, mid and late game. So these are basically mid to late game buffs. Leesin's early game is already very good, so he doesn't need actual later stages buffs. Sorry, he doesn't need early game buffs. Trundle, 2 seconds off W. I don't know what his W used to be. I think this is the old value of W. Pretty sure his W used to be the CD and then they nerfed it to 14. Now they just revert the nerf. Small buff. Zac. AP scale is worse. AP and health scale, I think. Wait. No, only the AP scale got worse. Which nerfs AP Zac by 1%. Like Demonic Embrace gives you around 100 AP, which is like 1% less damage here. And then Elastic Slingshot loses 20 base, 10% AP. TBH, I don't think these nerfs should stop you from picking Zac. Zac is the same champion. Radiant Virtue. More cost. More cooldown. Gets a bit more health. Total healing will go... I don't know if this is a buff or a nerf. It depends, I guess, and this is a nerf. Item should be weaker, definitely. Item should be weaker. And I'm pretty sure these are all nerfs. This is overall a nerf to the item. Then you have Umbrail Glaive. It's gonna be worse on range champs. Also worse on melees, but by 10 seconds. It will matter. Champs that buy Umbrail Glaive will be nerfed, especially range champs right now. With like Ashe support buying Umbrail. I don't think I like this change though. It will no longer instantly kill traps. Which I don't know how to feel about. I do think traps are just... I do feel like traps are just very stupid nowadays. Like you play against a Nidalee or a Jean and they have so much CDR in their kit that like late game they're just spamming traps everywhere. I don't know, even in mid game. Overheal buff that should have happened a few patches ago. Pretty decent. Overheal Overheal should probably be played in competitive now in every ADC. Because Presence of Mind is not needed and Shaft has low value. Then we have support buffs. These Alistar buffs are pretty big. Basically his manas are going down like crazy. And then his AP ratios are going up. If you play him on support, the buffs aren't that big. If you play him in solo lane, I can see the buffs being bigger. if you go like AP Alistar. Braum. This is a typo. Oh, no, it's not a typo. He just got like better passive early. This can matter. Cooldown on Q, also good for lane. W base, armor, MR, also big buffs here. He just doubled the ability. That's crazy. I could see a world where maybe Alistar soloing becomes a thing. Or maybe Alistar jungle. Maybe. What do I play? It's Katarina. I love playing into Katarina. I got a skin for Yasuo, guys. I got this skin today in the box. Not that good of a skin, but yeah. Then you have Nautilus, who gets very small passive buff. Only matters in like first 5 levels, to be honest. W got a little bit of a better mana, which probably doesn't matter with good players. The shield goes a bit up, which does matter, and then E damage also. Just better AP scale and damage. So basically it makes E max Nautilus a bit better. But I think people max Q on Nautilus. Then you have this E of Pike buff, which is very big. Like 40 damage is no joke, but the problem with Pike support is that he wants to max W second against range champs. It's better. So again, not sure how to feel about this. Then you have Rakan, which he loses a bit of damage on W, not a lot, but then he gets a way better Q. His Q is gonna heal way more, less mana, more spammable. Probably a buff. It's probably a buff. Then you have Trash, which makes Q max better. Q did more damage. But W is gonna shield us, and then E. What? Nothing says here. I don't get it. He loses AP scale or what? I don't get this. This is a typo again? Then you have Tenacity Changes, which, from my understanding, if you have the same group, it stacks worse. If you have different groups, it stacks better. Garen with W and Merchants can apparently now get 90% Tenacity. Or like, whatever the W duration is, which is pretty crazy. But you obviously don't really buy Mercs on Garen. Then you have Jungle, which would be a worse gold than XP, I think, or something like that. Whatever. The changes are very small in Jungle. And that's kinda it. Yeah, the biggest change in the patch are Annie and Asol. Genuinely. Melee supports, I don't even know if they will do anything. I expect still range supports to just be better. I think this melee support buffs won't do anything this patch. Kassadin is probably very bad now. Ksante is very bad, I think. Zac is same. We're probably not gonna see any in competitive, so changes are more for solo queue. I don't know.
The road to ruin is shorter than you think.
Patch is so small again, though. Can they please make a big patch one day? Please. My Asol is so rusty, I'm probably gonna grief it.
Virtue is no more than a luxury.